Welcome everyone, I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is another short little update. Playing in the background is Splunky, and it looks like my FPS meter's flickering on it. Oh well, it's just something that I play in the background while I talk. It's been about a week since I put up the video asking for suggestions for another RPG to play, and I believe I essentially got 3, I think. So well, 3 people gave us suggestions anyway. After a week, I'm pretty much sure that's about all I'm gonna get, because eventually the video is gonna be gone from the feed page, and I don't really want to put it on the as a front page thing or whatever it is that YouTubers do. So instead, I'm gonna make this video, and I'm gonna narrow down the choices that have been suggested, and then you guys can vote, and I'll hopefully be able to play it. So let's go ahead and go down the list. The only things I took off the list are things that I've either never played before. I'm not going to do a blind LP, so Chrono Cross is out. I've never played Chrono Cross, so I'm not going to do it. I have played Chrono Trigger, but there's a Let's Play of that already out as well, or being currently done. I believe it's being done by the Two Friends Play or something like that, whatever their name is. Anyway, so there's that, and also, like I said, I won't do videos of LPs that are currently going, which Legend of Dragoon is currently going, as always. They have been, Red and Boa the Vulture have been putting up, or was it Mysterious JG? Well, it's one of those two. Anyway, those two have been recently been putting up videos for it, so it's not a big deal. So, if you want to see more Legend of Dragoon stuff, you can watch them, I guess. Anyway, let's go ahead and go down the list. This one's going to be a broad one. It's just going to be, I'm just putting Final Fantasy as a list. The suggested ones were 7 and 8, though I'm not entirely sure if I want to do either of them, but I will keep the suggestion open for Final Fantasy. If you guys really do want me to do 7 or 8, go ahead and suggest it, and I'll see and I'll count the votes, and I'll probably do it. If I do either of those two, I'm not going to do 100% runs. It's just going to take way too long, and quite frankly, you don't really need it, because the game's not that difficult. Unless, well, actually, it isn't really that difficult. It's just grinding for the optional bosses. So there you go. But you can feel free to suggest anything lower than 7. Personally, I prefer 1 through 6, or at least majority of 1 through 6. But I have played 7 and 8. I've beaten both, so I have no real issues with it. What else? Alright, Final Fantasy Tactics was suggested, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this one. For one thing, if this does get voted, just note I'm not going to be doing the original Final Fantasy Tactics. I will be doing a mod patch of it, known as the 1.3 content patch. Also, actually, technically, it's the 1.3 content easy patch, because the 1.3 content patch is ridiculously difficult. What it does, it's a mod, or yeah, it's pretty much a mod, done by some people on UnsaneDifficulty.com that pretty much, they went through a lot of the old RPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics, I believe there's some for Chrono Trigger and so forth, where they make the game harder or more balanced and so forth, and that's what they did with Final Fantasy Tactics. They changed a lot of the classes around, so classes like Knights and even Squires actually have uses in this version, so it's pretty interesting. So I would if that does get voted, I will do it 1.3 content easy. I haven't actually finished the game on 1.3. I just kind of mess around with it and then get bored. I tend to overgrind a lot in the game, because I like just making a specific party and then just going with it and seeing how crazy it can be, like all dancers or all ninjas. But for that case, I'll probably leave it up to you guys if you guys want a specific party, though I'm not sure if I'll grind immediately for it. It might be just something I build up to. So we'll just have to wait and see. The other suggestions is Breath of Fire 3. I have played up to Breath of Fire 4. I don't know if there's any others after that. Breath of Fire 4 was a very long time ago. But Breath of Fire 3 is pretty decent. Has some unique mechanics involving trainers that can manipulate your stats and teach you various abilities, and so it allows you some stat manipulation as opposed to like all just, you know, manipulating all your stats. And then there's a variety of characters, pretty big variety. And then there's of course the dragon synthesis type stuff, which is kind of interesting. I have beaten it before. It was actually rather difficult to beat because I kind of sucked at the game. But that's Breath of Fire 3. Earthbound. Earthbound's pretty straightforward. It's an SNES game. Has a very unique sense of humor and setting. Doesn't have much in the form of customization, but it's pretty lighthearted and rather fun to play. So pretty good. If you've never played Touhou Mother, it's very similar to that, and has the same sort of sense of humor with some, you know, Touhou flair to it. And the last suggestion was Secret of Mana, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done, but I'm putting on the list anyway. I'm very familiar with Secret of Mana. I still have the cartridge for it. Actually, I have the cartridge and disc for a lot of these games. In fact, actually, I have them for all except for Earthbound. But Secret of Mana is an action RPG type game. Quite frankly, I played the shit out of it when I was a kid, to the point where I have the cartridge, assuming it still works, has a maxed out save. Like literally every character, level 99. Maxed out practically all the weapon skills, all the magic skills. Unlocked a lot of rank 9 weapons, which you can only get by just grinding. You can't find them in normal chest. So it's I've played a lot of it. I'm probably not going to grind that much if I do a playthrough of it, but I'm rather familiar with it, at least as far as just what does what in the game. I don't know if I can still do the same tricks on an emulator, but I'll certainly try. And besides that, that's everything. So just to go down the list, Final Fantasy, just whatever numbers. I probably won't. I can't really go higher than 10 or 10-2, but no one was really suggesting that. Final Fantasy Tactics with the 1.3 content easy patch, and Breath of Fire 3, Earthbound, Secret of Mana. So cast your votes. I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 of you will cast your votes. And please just vote for one thing. It makes my life easier. If there's a tie, I'll roll a die or whatever, but please just vote for one thing. So it will hopefully narrow things down. I didn't want to just pick something randomly from what was already voted on. So this is your way of saying which one you guys want to see me play throughout essentially Christmas break, because that's probably when I'm going to be playing it. As far as any other news, I recorded the last parts of Lingering Summer Heat just today, so I'm done with that. So I've done everything except the optional dungeon, which I'm not going to do because it's not needed. I'll also give final thoughts, though it's only about 8 minutes long, so hopefully it's tolerable. Besides that, I'm still doing Blood Bowl, Chaos Edition. It's sometimes a little hit and miss about recording it, but it has been keeping up. I apologize for not putting one up yesterday. It's one of that situations where I had 2 parts and I didn't want to break them. I didn't want to put a day gap between them. So you will be getting your Blood Bowl on Monday. So look forward to it or whatever. Anyway, that's about everything. So oh, actually, there's one other thing. I'm currently going to be doing Fairy Bloom Freesia for the next couple of Sundays. It's just a quick little action game to mess around with. So it's a little bit of a change of pace from Dungeons of Dreadmore, hopefully. Anyway, that'll be it. Like I said, one vote per person. Keep it one game per vote, so I can tally it up easily. And by all means, participate and decide what I'm going to play next. So I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is your opportunity to vote for my next RPG. See you guys.